have to reshare.
Yeah, if we go live again. There we go. Are we back?
YouTube.
Are we back? We back?
Why you gotta do me like that?
Whoa, hold up.
Why you gotta do me like that? YouTube.
Am I liking
Why
this?
you gotta do me
There we
like
go.
that?
Hey.
YouTube. Why you gotta do me like that? Baby girl, bring it
Yeah, we're
back.
good, bro. We're back. We're back on
Bring it
YouTube.
back,
We're back here on
bring it back,
YouTube. There we go. What's up? We're back. We're back.
Bring it back.
Some technical difficulties.
Bring that shit back. Bring the shit back.
It's because of the show tune that YouTube's working again. We go back live on Facebook.
Bring us back. Bring it back. Bring it back now. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back now.
I'll
Okay.
just take this moment to say like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. Thank you. Just go ahead and do it. It helps us out a lot. You gotta throw it in there. Everyone does it.
Yeah.
Throw it in there.
You
But I
gotta
think
do it.
we gotta be official about it. You know, we gotta be professional.
I was just thinking of more lines, and I got stuck.
Are you saying it's not charming?
No, it was beautiful. I loved it.
Cool. Thank
I
you.
loved it. It was a perfect time.
Thank you,
Perfect
thank
time
you,
to
thank
plug
you.
it.
Thank you. I
A
appreciate
shameless plug. I like when people say that. Just shameless plug your shit everywhere.
Shameless self plug.
Shameless self plug. Sorry, guys. When you're like on a vacation of 16 in a cabin, shameless self plug. Remember you did the other day in that chat? You're like, we just talked about this the other day on the cast. You guys got to check it out. Shameless self-plug.
I think we talked about it in the last cast. You know, go check it out. Last cast.
So funny.
Episode 100.
It's just funny saying that. Like, I always tell people, like, me and Steve were just talking about this on the cast.
I do it all the time, man. It's like,
I already talked about that topic.
Me and my friend, we were talking about it on the cast the other day. Like, we just
and it's weird because when I say that, it's like, okay, I'm gonna grant you a second chance here. I'll talk to you about it again, but I already talked about this on camera.
I'm gonna keep bringing it up until you ask about it.
Yes.
We keep dropping hints that you just want someone to be like, "You have a podcast?" I do have a podcast.
Like, come on.
And now that you're asking, it's not a self plug. You asked me about it, so
Exactly.
now I'll give you the whole rundown. Me and my boy, we talk a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
follow shit.
that's my favorite thing when people are like, "What's your podcast about?" Me and the boy. Me and the boy just linking up, drinking some brews, talking some shit. But it's fun
I'm
because
a comedian.
that's the funnest thing, though, ain't it? That's the funnest thing is that like when you don't have to talk about something specific.
So the way I look at people is, I guess,
imagine if it was like a political
people
podcast.
As I'm
just
saying,
like,
people expect us to be like, oh yeah, we provide football commentary or something like that. People want to be like,
yeah,
your show is about ceramic painting. You paint ceramics. Yeah, it's what our show's about. You know, it's like, no, it's not. We just talk that shit. I guess if you want, you could probably say political if you want, or news, because we do cover lots of news and current topics and opinions. You know what I'm saying? But like, I guess you can compare us to the Gumble and Gumble.
But you can also say sex show.
What is it? You can say that if you want. I'll get down to that.
Some people go,
How many times you jerk off a day?
Not my stylo.
Oh, bro, you have a stylo? Is that a Note 2?
Dude, my stylo.
My stylo for my Samsung Galaxy Note Plus.
I'll just go for a reshare. I just my stylo too.
This does not include pay promotion. We were not paid by Samsung.
My stylo 2 XP coming out fall of 2021.
But you know, I mean, I like when people like ask me about it, and then the next thing you know, like I'm sending them my link, you know, for my shit. You know, it always feels weird. It does always feel weird because I never want to be that guy that wants to feel like I'm bragging about something or being like, oh yeah, check out our show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
it sucks.
But you got to, you know what I'm saying? You
then
got to say, hey, check us out.
It kind of reminds me of the famous, like, you know how the ugly guy will get a cute girl just because you're scared to say something. Yeah, that's like the perfect comparison to me.
Yeah. Is that going for you? Is that going for you?
You didn't catch it at all. That's okay.
I did it.
It's better to just say, what was that? Instead of playing it all.
It's natural. It comes natural to me.
It's like when when the ugly guy gets the cute girl.
Okay.
Just because you were scared to say something, you know? It's like, well, I look better than that dude. I'm sorry, but I look better than that dude. Yeah. But you were just a pussy. Well, that dude's just like, I'm doing it.
I said the same exact thing as I would if I just played it off. I was just like, yeah. So you don't know.
I was just waiting for you. You can always tell if someone does it in the sentence just to say something about what you said. And if not, then you know someone's just bullshit, you know? If you don't say anything about what I just said, then don't work. That I know.
I remember it happened.
Program dancer.
I remember it happened. I was at work. I was talking to a coworker, and she said something that I completely did not hear it at all. I was just like, "Oh yeah, I get you." And she was like, "You heard nothing I just said, did I? Did you?" I was just like, "Yeah, I heard you said." She was like, "What did I say?" I was just like, "Yeah, you got me. You got me."
She grinded you to the end there.
And she was just like, you're just like my husband. One of those jokes. I'm just like, okay.
Exactly.
Whatever. Stuck in a failing marriage, are you? Okay. That's man.
What do you do, right?
What, marriage?
That's the scariest thing with marriage.
Yeah. I was trying to explain that to someone where I was just like, someone asked me, they were like, so like, oh yeah, so you guys can get married and be together forever, huh? I was a bit like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's kind of like, it's just kind of crazy.
Kind of mad at pressure put on someone.
Well, not only that, but like, think about it. It's kind of crazy for me to say right now in the present that I am going to make an accurate estimation of my feelings in 5 years? Like, that's so crazy to think, man.
I hear you.
That's so crazy to be like, oh yeah, like, like
you want to get married in 5 years,
like what you said, like about like the contractors, like you want as many contracts in your life as you can. It's like I'll keep extending those 2-year contracts, and then we'll see how it goes. Maybe near the end of where I'm getting kind of slow, I'll lock down that 5 year. This is 5 year guaranteed for less money.
That is so fucking perfect, bro. You're absolutely
I'll
right.
Commit 2 years.
You're absolutely right, bro. I'm signing 2-year deals with a 1-year team player option. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
1 year with a player option.
Exactly. Trade clause.
Yeah, trade clause. Exactly. 25% trade kicker.
But no, seriousness. I think it's really crazy to talk about it and just be like, hey, here I'm gonna give you these feelings for the next 10 years or however so long. You like to commit that the level of feelings for anyone is just completely unrealistic for anyone to say. You know what I'm saying? That's why most marriages fail. You know what I'm saying? It's just like lifetime commitment.
Is that what you think it is? Why do you think? Is that really what you think? Think for a sec. What do you think really makes most marriages fail?
Well, there's a lot of marriages that are rushed. You know what I mean? Like, because it's now a construct. You do that. People do it on the fly now. I mean, they have drive-in weddings in Las Vegas. People do it all the time.
Tens of thousands of divorces a week.
Exactly. That probably contributes to it. But you still have a high, level of it, happening. And that's just because, I think people commit to something, stick with it just because they committed to it, or, they're scared to leave, or whatever the case may be, But some people do inevitably get tired of it and then move on, and divorce for some shit like that, I mean, it happens more often than not. That's not a good statistic.
What do they do before they divorce?
I think when you add that that next level step to it, that complication, it's just like, I don't know, man. I just think it's like a weird outside entity that's now causing a strain on your marriage because of a fake construct, something that's just like made up and on a piece of paper.
But usually,
and legally binding.
Before they get a divorce usually comes from cheating, infidelity. That's usually what comes first, because people try to preserve the marriage, but it's just gone. The buzz is gone. They end up cheating, and that just drives it farther down.
And that's the thing, I mean, like, I think that's why I think it's more real. It's not realistic for me to say, hey, I'm gonna be in love with you 10 years later. You know what I'm saying? I think it's completely unrealistic. I'd be lying if I told someone that.
Bro, that's why that Moth podcast is just so fucking good, man. I really think everybody should listen to it, man. But there's one story where the girl's talking about when she was 11. Her mom had an out of marriage. She had her and her sister, and then her mom had a baby by another guy.
Okay.
Cheated on her dad, and she thought it was her dad's kid. So she went around to everyone telling her mom's pregnant. Her mom's pregnant. Come to find out, it was her coworkers, and she's like, I wanted to hate this baby, because I was like, it broke my dad's heart. I wanted to hate that baby. But it's so hard to hate a baby. Like, I couldn't hate a baby. She ended up forgiving her mother and so on and so on. But I just think that's a really tearing thing on the opposite side, because you think about, like, we sit there and, we don't have our family that stayed together. We don't have parents that stay together. Yeah. She did have parents that stayed together. And then there's this other aspect of, like, what could go wrong, right?
Yep.
Infidelity in there, it's like, wow, man, that's so crazy. That's just so crazy, man. And There was one, man, I listened to yesterday that just absolutely, bro, I'll be in my work truck just randomly crying, dude. Because it's just like, man, it's so, plug that bitch into the aux dog and
Yeah.
just like, you're just like, bro, this, some of the stories, this one lady, she's talking about, her son was 17 and he had just won. And it's the way they tell the story that always gets you, because she's telling you like him growing up and shit. And he was 17, he had just won a lead part in his school play.
Mm.
And next thing you know, she gets a knock on the door, of a cop saying, he's been in a horrible accident. She goes, "Is he dead?" And he said, "Not yet. We got to get down there." And he ends up going in a coma. He got some broken pelvis, traumatic brain injury, couldn't do anything no more. He comes out of the coma. They get him back going and shit. She's like, it's basically about insurance fraud, which is what, like, the insurance wouldn't take care of her. Basically, she kept going through problems with insurance. She had a good job, but she kept going through problems. So he starts getting better, a little bit better. He's like barely, moving, starts doing thumbs up, thumbs down, can do things like that and shit. And she needs to get back to work basically to continue the insurance. So she goes back to work and she has to put him into hospital care, basically because she can't take care of him all day. So when he's in there, he has like this thing in his stomach. It's not his thing that's for. It's like something that goes to the piece that, when you get fed through your stomach. I forget what it's called. Not a colonoscopy bag. That's when you're shit and everything.
Colostomy.
Yeah, it's when you get fed through there, though, but it's something that allows you to get fed through there.
Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
It fell out. And the place that was in, it wasn't the best place. So when it fell out, they usually just pop it back in and then you do an x-ray to see that it's in the right spot. But they didn't have the x-ray machine. So they just thought they had it in the right spot. So for like something crazy, like 17 days, he was fucking like the food that he was getting was just going straight into like his body and not his stomach, and he got like a horrible fucking disease that sent him back into a coma, bro. And well, right before the coma, the doctor came and was like, "I can operate on him, and I can heal him, but he's gonna go to a coma that he never comes out of, or you can let him go, basically." And bro, I mean, when she tells that story, dude. When she tells that story, of like having to like, she goes in there and talks to her son, because he can see and he knows what's going on. Like he's there,
Yeah.
he's not in the coma at this point. This is before that. And it's like, she's like, I basically, I gotta let you go. It's like really fucking eerie, bro, of like having to deal with that. She's a single parent. The father lived in Europe, wasn't even there. And just having to deal with that and having to tell, your baby boy that, like, I can't even give you a chance to
See,
fight, bro.
I have no idea. But I mean, like, I know what it feels like to put a dog down that you love. I mean, I can't even imagine a human. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't do well with putting dogs down. You love them. It's part of your family, and that's a painful feeling. But putting your son down,
That's basically what it is, bro.
yeah,
That's basically what it is, man.
it's wild. And I can't imagine, man. I can't imagine. But I think what I want at that moment for me, it's like, just let me go. Let me sit here, no coma. Just let me go. Do I know if that's what they would want? I don't know, man.
I'm gonna tell you a crazy story, Steven. I don't think I ever told you this one before. This is one I haven't said a lot. This is like, I'm probably like 21, 22, something like that, maybe 23. And I'm in the work truck and I'm working with a guy that's driving and I'm in the passenger seat. And we come up to this 4-way intersection with lights. We're waiting at the red light. A car drives out. It stops in the middle of the intersection. And The lady gets out. I'm trying to fix this here. Give me a sec. The lady gets out and she's screaming like that sound that echoes, bro. Like that bad scream. That people scream when you're like at your final chance. You're back into a corner. And it's one of the saddest things I ever heard. Still a horrible sound in my head. She's screaming. And her friend jumps out the passenger seat. And starts screaming too. And they both start saying this name. And I'm still watching from the work truck. Everybody at the intersection's watching. And I'm watching, and they're saying this name. We can't hear it. She comes around, she opens up the back door. And a body falls out the back, bro. It's like this white male, like, probably like 27, 28, something like that. And his face hits the ground, bro. As soon as she opens the door, he falls out face first. Wow. She's crying and she's screaming. The other lady comes around. They're both crying. They're screaming, holding this body. And everybody at this intersection is watching, bro. Is watching this happen. And I'm just stunned. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, yo. I'm just absolutely stunned. You know what I mean? And like, this is going on for like 10 seconds. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? You know, so I hop out the truck and I come over and like, he's still laying on the ground. Like, she's just like yelling at him. Like, she's yelling at him and like hitting him and shaking him. And I grab him and like, I put his head right here and like, I could see right away, like his fucking face was so blue, bro. Like he was like ODing, you know, like, you could clearly tell he was ODing, bro. And, they're like, what the fuck, basically. And I'm holding him and he's like foaming a little bit from the mouth. And I can like, I know he's ODing basically. But like, it's like weird, man. It's just like the selfish side of me is thinking that he's a fiend also though. So like you're scared to make mouth contact. Yeah. You know, like you're still selfish in this moment. And like, I'm scared to give him mouth to mouth. So like, I'm telling her, because I'm guessing that's his girlfriend or something, to give him mouth to mouth. And she won't do it. And then like all these people start hopping out of their car and shit. And they're like all circling around. And none of them are coming over to grab him. It's just my coworker comes over and like, we're helping. Like, I'm like, call the ambulance, you know, call the ambulance. So she gets on the phone and she's calling the ambulance. And like you're just looking at this guy and he's not making no sound, you know, and he's just looking at, like, his eyes are gone and just like, you know, when they say like the seconds really do feel like hours and shit, that's really is what it's like. And there's like, we're waiting. And it's like probably like 4 or 5 minutes that pass by. Everybody's just sitting there and they're like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And like, and they're asking me and shit. And I'm just like, I'm like the youngest one there, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like a kid, dog. Like, and they're asking the kid, like, what do you do? And like, I don't know what to do, bro. And like, as I'm holding this, man, like, I can feel like that's why I said to you before, you're like, your soul really does have weight, bro. I'm telling you, like, I felt the weight leave his body, yo. Like, he got, like, he had dead weight after that. Like, you can feel, like, it's like, as I'm holding him, you can feel like his weight, you know, is just dropped. It's like his weight just dropped, bro. Like all like the air was out of his body, or like, you know, it's everything that his life like left his body. You could like feel it, bro. And me and my coworker just looking at each other like, dude, this motherfucker's dying, you know, like he's dying and shit. So we're like, he's like, yo, the hospital, you know, is only like, you know, 5 minutes up the street. It's only right there basically. And we're not like hearing no ambulance or nothing, bro. Right. So we're like, what the fuck? You know, we're like, what the fuck do we do? So I'm just like, throw him in the back of the car, bro, you know, and like drive him there. I think that's going to be quicker, you know, and I don't know if that's right or not. I'm like, I think that'll be quicker. So we're picking them up. We're all trying to pick them up. And there's only 4 of us. Like everybody's there, but like they're watching. It's just me and my coworker and these 2 girls that are trying to pick up this, bro, this dead body. Yo. Like this is a dead fucking heavy ass body, man. And we're trying to put him in the back, yo. And I'll never forget it, bro, because like we got his full body in there. And the lady that came out of the passenger seat, she tried to slam the door, bro, and his hand was still in there, yo. And she slammed his hand in the door full fucking power, bro. And he did not make a sound, bro. He did not make one sound.
No.
Like, so I just fucking picked up his hand and put it in there and shut the door, yo. And they fucking peeled off, yo. Or just like in the middle of this the middle of this section. Like, what the fuck just happened, bro? And like, I remember like I just ran into the alley, yo, and I called Kay, and I just was like crying and like, I just like couldn't process like what just happened, bro. Like, and like for like the next like 10 days, yo, every day I looked in like the obituaries and shit in the news, yo, and I never seen like anybody popping up for anything like that. So I don't ever know what happened with that guy, bro. And like I always worry so much of like, did me saying like throw him in the back of there, like did that hurt him or did that help him? You know, I don't know. Like, did that guy end up dying? Is he brain dead or something? You know, like
it was better than him laying there in the street waiting.
But maybe the ambulance was like 30 seconds away or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like it felt like so much time was passing, bro. And like he's saying like it's only 5 minutes away. I'm like, I don't if he's I'm thinking like I know they say like the less time you get oxygen to the brain is the worse, you know, like so I'm thinking like, well, he's obviously fucking dead here, bro. So this is like minutes now that he's going without fucking oxygen to the head, dog. Like insane, bro. It's one of the wildest stories of my life, bro. Like it's unfathomable, and then it just like gave me just like this different perspective on overdoses, bro. It's like I never felt
that's why you got
before,
your
man.
Narcan.
Yes, bro. That's why I went and got my Narcan, dog. Because I'm just like, at least I'm gonna have something to try on that motherfucker, man. I'm not gonna go through that shit again.
Yeah, reverse it. Yeah,
absolutely crazy, bro. And out of that entire intersection, no one had Narcan, bro.
Nope,
no one.
And that's like people who didn't go through something like that, and who are who judge that type of program, you know, don't know, you know,
bro. When it comes to that point, bro, Steve, I would have if I had Narcan, bro, I would have put it in a child molester, dog. Like that's the kind of mindset that I had is like, it's different, yo. It is different. Like when you see someone dying, you know, if it's like anything, it's like, it ain't your time to die right now, you know, we're going to kill you once we bring you back or something. You know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying. That's why I say like, you know what I mean? Like at that point, you're just like, you're not thinking about that, bro. You're just, it's very weird. I bet a lot of people would have a hard time watching someone die in front of them, you know, like watching someone slow the dude's breath, even if it was someone that was supposed to die, you know, like it could be a 95-year-old woman. If you know she's dying, it's hard. That's why most people, most family, the person that's dying, they will wait till their family leaves like the room, you know, they go get something to eat and then they're die or something, you know, because it's like something about like being there and you like see that. Like that oxygen and that energy leaving someone, you just don't think about unless it was like someone who really like you had a personal vendetta against. It's hard to say like let him die, you know.
Oh
like, that's hard to do, bro. In that
man.
instance, bro,
100%. You know, it's very hard to say stuff like that. You know, like I always say that, like you know, when my grandmother's ready to go, and when she goes, I won't be upset. You know, but like I know once faced with it, you know, like. I'm definitely gonna be highly upset, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know, more so than anybody, you know, but that's it, you know, it's just I mean, even if you're not related to the person, watching anyone die, you know?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, like we've all seen a video or two of like people jumping off buildings and hitting the ground and dying but you know, when you see it in person, you know, you hear that sound in person, you know, it's just different.
And you think about like the older we get, how people are just passing away, man.
Yeah.
You know,
We talked about it a while
bro.
ago, man. I think we were like 16, 17. I think we were probably doing the e-pills and stuff. And I remember us talking about it. We were saying like, hey,
I do remember that.
It's possible not all of us see, you know, adulthood, you know?
No, I remember how that convo went. I remember we were all like, yeah, we're going to be like doing this. And some people are going to do this. And we're like, some of us are going to die.
Yeah. Someone,
like, whoa, bro. Whoa, you know,
but it was possible that someone was gonna die. You know, it was possible all day. You know?
And we did. We knew multiple people that died.
Yeah, I mean, we knew people who died, and you know, we knew someone who was, you know, almost died. You know, pretty much.
I just think about like how much personally, like just think it speaks for, because I don't even have the worst story. And it's times 10,000, 100,000 in this fucking city of how much drugs has like ruined my life, bro. You know, like without drugs, that story right there never happens. I know multiple friends that I've seen nod out that are on drugs, got addicted to drugs. You know what I mean? Both my parents on drugs, my whole family on drugs, you know, cousins on drugs, everything on drugs, just absolutely ruined, you know, so many people that I know, bro. It's insane.
And you see it affect people in such a profound and damaging way. You know what I mean? It doesn't just like you see them not only like allow it to crush their soul and their person and do things like, you know, they would never have done to someone, but then you also see them, you know, neglect their physical health so much so that where like, you know, your mouth is rotted out, you know, you're skinny as fuck, you have sores everywhere, you know.
Bro, men sell their ass for drugs. Straight men sell their ass for drugs, bro. How much lower could it get, dude? Women selling their pussy and men selling their ass for drugs, dude. I'll suck your dick for crack, dude. What? Imagine you just cut that right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, what? You know?
Bro,
That's
I get it.
crazy,
It's
yo.
exactly. You know?
I said was funny. Andrew Schultz said he was like, Coke's good, but he's like, I think that's better. He's like, that turn you like you go gay, like, because he's talking about Joe Exotic, like, because they pretty much got two straight dudes to marry him. You know, it's like they both ended up coming out straight basically, but he got two straight guys to marry him. And like meth, bro, meth you'll go gay for. You know, but like Coke, I don't know, but crack you'll go gay for.
You'll suck just like a little dick, like
you suck
on that
dick,
meth,
dude.
That's what I thought was weird about that whole Exotic show, the Joe Exotic show. Just like these dudes, he got around them, they were straight. He's asking these weird questions, and then like they just like, especially that one young dude. He was a younger dude. He was like 22, 23. He was just like almost like a grooming type of thing. It was kind of disgusting.
Yeah,
you know?
bro.
But like, you know, it's just like he just goes gay. It's just like so you just got these two straight dudes who weren't gay, but now they're just gay.
But it's like at the same time, I think Joe Exotic knew they weren't gay. Because they said that he was fucking, that guy that you're talking about was fucking all the girls on the fucking zoo, basically. You know? And like that was known.
Huh.
So I'm sure he knew that he was fucking girls, but he's just like, dude, if you're willing to, you know, suck my dick, whatever.
That's what I think's wild. It's like, you're sucking some dick.
What if the guy was like, I was a pitcher? You know, like that doesn't do anything. You're like, still like, okay, he didn't fuck you. And I guess you didn't, but you still got your dick sucked by drugs on it, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure you're giving him some head, you know? It's like, come on. You're definitely going to be sucking his dick. You gotta reciprocate head. You know, you tell me there's no reciprocating head. Like,
yeah, not one time he didn't even at least jerk him off.
Saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, it was like, nah, everyone was sucking dick.
That's crazy, dude. How like the older you get, it's like when I was younger, right? I had a gay sister, you know, all my life. So when I was younger, like I understood what gay was, and I never knew like how you knew if you were gay or not. You know, like I didn't ask her that kind of stuff. Though,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Just be like, I guess you just find out if you're gay.
I feel like
so
I
never felt no type of way, you know, and I just let life go on. And then you realize, oh, you gravitate towards women.
Yeah,
you like women, and then but it's weird how you get older, right? As you get older, now you're just like you're not anti-gay, right? But you're just like miss me with that gay shit. Like now you're just like completely against it, bro.
I remember I told you before where it was like, you know, like either way I thought about it and looked back on it, I'm just like, I never had a crush on a boy. All my crushes were girls, you know. I feel like that's just kind of like your telltale sign.
Yeah, I never had a crush on a boy.
That's what I'm saying, you know. That's kind of like your sign.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So you kind of like you just know, you know what I'm saying. It starts off by you being like, well, I don't seem to like women. Cut that, you know. And then, you know, like people just, you know, come to terms with it and just be like, and I mean, a lot of times people deny it to begin with, and it'll just be like, you know, whatever the case may be. And then they come to terms with it, and then they just, you know, realize that's what's required for them to live a happy life. That's who they are.
What do you think about gender dysphoria?
I think it's all a little confusing, but I think a lot of it stems from, you know, like you have the gendering of like weird things, like colors, like pink's a girl color, blue's a boy color. I think that might like in a developing child who doesn't understand gender, and then for them to be subject to concepts of gender from the very get go. I think it's very confusing for people. You know what I mean? Like you have a boy who plays with dolls, and then you tell him no, those are girl toys, but like now he's not sure why those are girl toys. He just likes playing with dolls, like you know what I'm saying?
Do you understand what I'm saying? What are you saying? Do you believe that that's a real thing?
Gender dysphoria?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
but
that how you say misphobia?
Gender
Misphobia.
dysphoria.
Dysphoria,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So what I was getting to was yeah, it's a thing, but I think there's some causes and roots in that type of like cultural thing that we've kind of constructed of gendering things. Like you didn't get a boy like a kitchen set, or like a like a you know what I'm saying?
No, I got you. I just would love for you to hear this Moth podcast, bro. It's just like there's this one guy who goes up there and he talks about it, which I never really had a clear understanding of it. That's why I brought it up to you. And he goes on there and he talks about like his child. It was a boy. He had a son.
Yeah. Okay.
And from the time he was born, bro, he never wanted anything boy. Like he never wanted boys' clothes. He always wanted to wear girls' clothes. He always wanted dolls. He did not want trucks. Like on and on to the point where he could talk. He actually made his own name up. I forget the name, but it was like his name was like Clay, and he made like Cleopatra or some shit like that.
Right. Okay.
Cleo or something. And just throughout his entire life, like just everything showed the signs of it was a girl. And he had a talk, with his dad where he's like, I forget exactly how it goes, but like basically telling him like that's not me, dad. Like no, you don't understand. Like this is how I feel basically. And he got diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and it was like just such a clear case of it.
Yeah.
Where you could see like this is definitely a real thing. Now, could it be like what you're saying? Where like I get what you're saying, you're kind of playing it, but like it's like what this is like not a disease because it is what it is, right? But like it's an inside thing where they're like, no, I really don't feel like a boy. Like I don't feel like I feel like I have a pussy.
Yes.
You can clip all this shit.
Yeah.
It get me so bad.
Well, I mean, like, so I
dick for crack.
I get what you're saying, but like, what, like one way I've kind of like thought about was like when they're trying to understand themselves, they look at that and they're just like, well, I want to wear girls' clothes, so I guess that makes me a girl. You know what I'm saying? But like in reality, like the whole genderization of clothes and the marketing behind it is, all kind of like a made up thing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no real such thing as boys or girls.
What about
clothes,
I want tits?
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, like I think it could be rooted in that type of thing where you're just like, it's like, well, if I like all girl things, I'm in that sense, I must be a girl, So then they make that next leap of having to have the boob job and the sex reassignment surgery.
Okay.
Because I think it's a tough thing for a child to really understand. I think children are very.
I wanted you to hear it. I want
very
you to hear
lateral,
where you could just
thinking.
There's, but clearly, like how this man was telling his story. There's times where it's just clear cut, bro.
And then you look at other things. So like there's Thailand where there's a specific culture behind it. As far as being a lady boy in Thailand, it's actually celebrated. They have those beauty pageants.
Can you agree though?
What?
That there's times where it's just clear cut.
Yeah, I could agree to that. Yeah,
you can agree with that. There is times that is a thing.
But I think it's about what I was about to get into next was that it's also in a sense natural. I mean, so there's I get
that, but the lady boy thing.
It's cultural. It's celebrated and accepted. It's not looked down upon. There's another Indian tribe where they had a specific cultural and historical word for it, for being pretty much gender fluid, which was what it was called. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was.
But they get tits. They get surgery now.
And
like Egyptians aren't getting surgery for tits.
Yeah, but like
I feel like it's a little bit of a forced thing over there, bro. Sometimes. That's all I'm saying. I feel like it's a lot of sex trafficking, dude.
Oh, very true, very true.
Where it's like you're getting tits because a lady boy makes me more money than a girl.
But like in this other, in this Indian tribe, where they celebrate, they have their own word for it and their own celebration for it, where they, some of the men do partake in it and it's culturally accepted, to where it's almost like maybe this is kind of like a natural human thing, and like really the ignorance, that like the only people that really oppose this type of thing are just ignorant or religious people,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Or it's definitely a natural thing, and it should be accepted.
Isn't it weird how you never really hear anybody get booked on sex tourism? Totally common thing. Like literally, these countries are literally making most of their money off of sex tourism, and yet
it's not a good headline.
Not one American, investigation I've ever seen about it.
It's not a good headline,
I've seen a funny thing too. I've seen a funny thing too that said, "How do you just get arrested for resisting arrest? It means you did nothing, and then you try to stop them." Bless you. Basically, you try to stop them from taking you, and that's why you got resisted arrest, and that's your only charge. How's that even possible?
I hate when people say shit like, it's like if we just complied, it's like, well, at the end of the day, I do have rights,
Right.
You mistaken identity, that's not my problem to deal with, what I'm saying? You don't just detain me wrongly because of mistaken identity type of shit, what I'm saying? Like, prove it's me, type of deal. Identify me. It's like there's no like at the end of the day, we have rights in this country. I mean, you see clear infringements upon people's rights. I mean, I've seen a lot of this recently with a lot of illegal entries into people's domiciles. Or like you see videos, people get called to a house. I mean, you need a warrant to enter a house at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, it's like you gotta call. I don't care who called. You gotta come back with a warrant. And that's just, I mean, that's the law. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they'll sit there and just come up in this house, legally, and just fucking search your shit.
I seen it, and obviously that's wrong, right? But I did see a thing where it was like
both sides. Yeah.
It was something I seen where it was like two bubbles. It was like things police should handle, right? And then it was like murders, active shooters, like extreme violence, things like that. And it was like a bunch of things that police shouldn't handle. At the same time, though, right? Like, yes, you should need a warrant to enter homes, right? But we got to get specific, right? Because we're trying to civilize this.
Yeah.
Just give me a sec, right? You're trying to civilize this country. We're lawmakers, right? And you're always going to have a certain case that bust opens your previous law, and you got to figure shit out, right? So there is going to be a time, right, where something's clearly going on. Like, let's say you see a little girl screaming, running out of a house, right? A guy runs out the house. He grabs a little girl and runs back in the house. Do I need a warrant to bust that door open?
No, that's a clear-cut case.
Right, exactly. It's a clear-cut case. So there has to be a law for that too, though, right?
They do have that outline.
Right,
they do have that,
right.
Yeah.
So now you created that, though. So now you always have this line to play, though, of like, was it clear cut? Oh, well, we thought he had an assault rifle. We weren't sure if he was loading it up. We heard a load up, a chamber cock. Like you can say things to easily manipulate that.
I got you. Yeah, I know what I'm saying, but like, yeah, of course that's wrong.
Shit's difficult.
Well, yeah.
So we always come back to.
Of course, that's wrong.
Shit is difficult. Remember the guy that got shot in the hallway?
Yeah. I mean, he was
like that was the worst one of all time.
Yeah, he was
right. It was like with the AR. Yeah, with the AR, dude. While he's fucking crawling.
There was another one. It was in Florida. It was an autistic guy, and there was a guy who went over to help
to try and help him. His caretaker.
Yeah, and he got shot.
Yeah,
on the ground.
His caretaker, dude.
He was on the ground.
Yeah,
like, God damn.
He was spread out like this, dude.
Yeah,
he was like this, and they still shot him.
And that's the thing.
What?
Like, what I was ultimately getting to was that when it comes to me or anybody dealing with power tripping cops, I'd have the right to stand up to them. What I'm saying, at the end of the day, and then when it comes to them then going overboard and pretty much beating me and doing shit like that, it's just crazy. I mean, like, especially in instances where it's like pulling me over for a speeding ticket, get out your car. Oh yeah. Why? I didn't even get out the fucking car. It's a speeding ticket. All right, now you're about to tase me because I didn't get out the car. You want to arrest me.
And it sucks. But like personally, if that happens to me, I'm just getting out the car.
I'm just getting out the car, yeah.
Because I already know these motherfuckers want to hurt me, bro.
Exactly. I'm just getting out the car. That's me too. But
it's funny because like personally, I've had probably like, let's say around 10 experiences with the cops. And I've never had a good experience with a cop, bro. ever in my life. Not one time can I remember a cop being friendly or nice or anything of the sorts, bro.
I've had one or two.
I never had it, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Did I ever tell you about a time a cop beat me up, bro?
No, I don't think
I
so.
never ever told you about that, but it was right out front of your house. Actually, I was with a couple friends, and I'm probably like 9. I'm good. I'm probably like 9 years old, and like, and I got this little black ball. You good?
Yeah, I got an offer to you if I spoke to your roach real quick.
Oh, good. I've done it. But I got this black pole that I found, right? And I'm just going around and I'm like walking right up front of your house, right up by the jungle gym, and I hit the stop sign with the pole. And like as I do it, my dumb ass, there's a fucking cop coming up right behind us, and he stopped at the stop sign. And he's like, "What you doing with that pole?" I was like, "Nothing." He was like, "Well, how I know you ain't going around busting out windows?" I was like, "Cause I'm not, And then he was like, "Come here." So I came over. He's like, "Give me the pole." I gave him the pole. And as he was talking, bro, I did disrespectfully like spit on the ground. You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
and I remember he just snapped, bro. He fucking jumped out the car. And he fucking grabbed me up and he threw me in the back seat and he drove off, bro, and left my friends on some fucking Mystic River shit. Yo. I was fucking terrified, dude. I'm just like, it didn't even feel like I got arrested though. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on? The story don't end here, maybe. Okay. So I'm like, okay, am I going to jail or what the fuck? Right. So he bangs around, he goes around towards like O'Donnell Street and comes around and tunnels back towards O'Donnell. And he's like, "Where do you live?" I told him where I live. And the whole time I'm being disrespectful still. Like I'm mad. I'm in the back seat and like I am giving him like I'm just being a dick. I'm just giving him like mean answers and shit like that.
How old are you again?
Probably like 13, something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, probably 12, 13. So I'm just giving him an answer. He's like, "Where do you live?" I tell him where I live, but I'm like, no one's home because my whole family's up at Bayview. So he's like, "All right, well, we're going up there." So I remember we're driving and we're coming up by the Dunkin' Donuts right there next to Graceland.
Yeah.
And I remember he said something like, "What are you gonna do if you keep living like this? You're gonna go to jail," or something like that. And I was like, "I don't care." Or I just said something smart again, like I was just being a smart ass.
You didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I remember he fucking whipped it. Yo, we're going like 40 miles an hour. He just whipped it into Dunkin' Donuts parking lot, and he drove on like that side part that they got right there by the railroad tracks, dude. He jumped out the front. He came in the back, yo, and he just grabbed me by my neck. And he just like choking the fuck out of me. He's like, "You think you're a fucking smart ass? I could fucking kill you," And I'm like, I ain't saying nothing at this point. And he's like, "We're taking you to drop you off." I remember we went up to Bayview and like my mom and my aunt's there and like this cop drops me off. He's like, "Your son's being very disrespectful. He's going around banging windows out, like saying some shit." You know what I mean? I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he leaves. And just always remember that, like it was so weird, bro. It was just like, I don't know, like it was like a power trip, but at the same time I was being a dick.
Yeah.
But it was very weird that he got violent with me.
Yeah, so I mean, the instances I had, I grew up and there was this one cop, he used to always come by the house. He was like a family friend. He used to always bring cookie and brownies and shit. That was always cool, So I grew up with a cool cop. They used to come by, drop some cookies and shit off.
He's grooming you.
It was cool. And then there's also the instances I've had, where like a cop pulls up on us from doing some shady shit. Everyone books it, and I just kind of like walk off, and they're just like. I just kind of like stay there and they're just like, like, "Who are they?" I'm just like, "I don't know." And they're just like, they just take off and go get the people running. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that happening.
Dude, I did it all the time. I remember there was one time, like, I'm just chilling out back, we're all smoking weed at the school. There was a couple of us. Cop pulls up, everyone dips off. I just kind of like walk down the stairs like towards them and just like walk away to go home. And there's like, "Oh, where are they going? Who are you? Where are they?" I'm just like, "I live right up there." Just all right, go home. And just going to take off to go after the other people. I'm just like,
I always remember one specific one, bro.
In the park.
Okay. Nah, dude. Out back of Crystal's right there on the corner.
Yeah.
We were out back on that corner house, and we were smoking some grass. Me, you, Tyler, and Nebby.
Yeah.
They were skating in the alley. and they were doing like tricks, and we were blowing it down, all passing it around. And I remember, like, I looked at you and I was like, if cops come, for some reason, as a kid, you're always talking about that. You know what I mean?
You're going up to that bridge
I was,
part.
I was like, I'm
bridge
jumping
part.
up that bridge, yo. And then I remember, like, next thing you know, I was like, whoop, whoop. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I just fucking dipped off.
A couple of you guys went up that way, yeah.
Yeah, I always remember that, yo, because I jumped up there. And like I'm running down, I jumped next to like Crystal's house on her neighbor's house.
Yeah.
And it just got done raining, bro. Like the day before, so there's this big ass puddle I slid in. And like the neighbor came out and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And like everybody's like looking, and I'm just like, and like he's just like, "Don't say nothing." You know what I mean? He just stopped saying something, just like, and he's just looking around. I'm just laying there. The next thing I know, I'm like, I just take back off and shit. But I remember when I met back up with you, I'm like, "What you do, bro? Where'd you go?" You was like, I just walked away, bro. They were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I don't even know what you did, but I remember just like I just walked away, bro.
That's when all of us. I think we all had a couple of bikes at the time, you know. Cause I remember all having a mountain bike and just like kind of just chilling on it, you know. That's what
we did have bikes in it.
That's how I remember. I remember. I think Tyler was on a skateboard. I think Nebby had a skateboard too. And I remember like they were kind of chilling out towards up the stairs. So a lot of you guys headed up that way. And I was just like, I think I was just chilling on my bike near the bottom.
Yeah, that was a funny time we had bikes.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was definitely a funny time, you know. But I mean, yeah, that's always been my particular experience. I remember there was another time it was like 12 of us deep, you know, we were all at the park and stuff. Cop pulls up, we all start walking the other way. Another cop pulls up from the other direction, kind of like boxes us in.
And dude, remember that, bro?
Tires, yeah.
Yeah. And then they lined us all up on the side right there, yo.
They're like, "Where do you live?" And I was like, "I live right there." I remember I had my book bag on. I remember I had a bottle and some grass in the bag. You know, I think I was holding at least me, Tyler, and Nebby's grass in a bottle. In my book bag. And they were just like, "All right, go home." I was just like, all right,
they let us go. I was like, hell yeah, bro. We all had shit on.
I we linked back up, I think either the next day or later that night. And I remember you guys telling me like it slashed, I think it was Brian Smith's bike or moped, like, or Shrewsbury's or someone's like that. It was like he slashed his tires, man.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like, oh, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was there just like, go home. I'm just like, all right, you know. Gone, you know.
So crazy, these little memories like that. I do remember they let you go first.
Yeah,
you were on the end.
Yep.
Yeah, I was on the opposite end of you.
I had my book bag on. Yeah, my book bag on, man. I remember. Yeah,
got the fuck out of there.
My home. Yeah, that was my home. Gone. You know, it's just like it worked out for me. Every time, all my instances with cops have worked out well in my favor. You know?
I remember one time like things were gonna go bad. Like one time, maybe it wouldn't have, but like it could have. And we were up top field. I don't know if you were there, but it was a bunch of us lined up, bro. Like probably 9 of us. And, we had so much grass. So, and I remember like Turtle was weighing it all up. It probably like a half a pound, bro, all together, like with all these people. And we're about to blow it down and shit. And Turtle's weighing it all up for a show. And like, next thing you know, bro, we look over at the steps and there's a fucking flashlight, yo. And like, bro, we're so sick. Like that sick fucking feeling in your stomach, bro, where your fucking balls just curl up into your stomach, and you're just like, and I remember like I didn't know what else to do. I was like, bro, I'm like, if he finds this, we gotta fucking rock his ass. You know, like we're just gonna all have to rock him, bro. Like I remember, so we sat down and he's just like shining the light on all of us, and Turtle put all of the weed, his scale, like a bunch of baggies, all underneath of him, and sat on it. And like the guy's just like looking at us all, asking us some questions, and he's like, "Get out of here!" And like Turtle like gets up, like trying to turn and shit like that. Like we're all trying to block Turtle, and shit. It was so fucking weird, bro. But I always thought about like, man, what if he'd have got like Turtle up, bro? Like, would one of us have really sparked him? I doubt it, but that's like how something goes bad. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We spark him, then he shoots me.
Exactly. Some crazy shit goes going on, or you just get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Sprayed.
I remember there was one instance.
Assault the officer.
It was. I remember it was stupid. It was just silly. I think it was me, Tyler, and Nebby were just kind of like walking down the street behind Tyler's house, near the train or railroad tracks. Another story after that, but we were walking and smoking a blunt. I had one blunt I rolled, and I was puffing on like kind of like a roach. I remember the cop kind of like hits the corners and coming straight down towards us as we're walking that way. It's just middle of the open. And I remember both of them just like, all right, just give rid of it, give rid of it. So I heard him just swallowed the half roach and the whole blunt. I remember just ripped it in half real quick. I was just like, kind of just put it back. The cop drives right by us and just turns on the next street and just moves on. And the cinema is like, But the funniest part was the next day or later that night. I remember taking a shit and just being like, "It smells like fucking loud. It just smells like straight up weed in this bitch, bro." Just like literally, like I took a shit, it smells like straight weed, bro.
Ain't it funny when you're
dank.
a kid and you're that paranoid, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
You're just so paranoid.
Exactly.
Go.
There was another instance. I remember me and Tyler had cut school. I remember all day at school. We left it. We left around like noon or some shit. He was just like, "Yeah, I got something for you, man. I got something for you." I was in 10th grade. He was in 9th grade. And he was like, "Yeah, I got something for you, man. It's a surprise." So, we cut school, we leave, we go to the old abandoned truck stop down that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulls out, it's a cross joint, like just like kind of like Pablo Express. And I was just like, "Oh shit!" Like, we end up smoking that, getting high as fuck. This is early on, so you get high as shit.
Did it hit?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. It burned nice. He did a good job.
I think Nebby rolled it, right? Isn't that what he said?
No, Tyler did this one. This was the first one Tyler attempted. Yeah.
I thought Nebby rolled it, but okay.
No, this is back. This is.
All right, I don't know your story. Go ahead.
So like we get high as shit. We're messing with stuff. We're breaking some of the windows. Just doing normal truck stop stuff. We go around to this pile of this like garbage, and Tyler's like messing around lighting shit on fire. There's this huge tree branch in there. He lights that on fire, burns up, goes out, whatever. He is messing with this pile of trash, huge pile of trash. He's lighting it here and there. Nothing, everything's snuffing out. So like we walk away, go around to the other side, we break some windows, and we take off. It's time to go home. School is out now. And as we're walking away, we see these people at the gate that we leave to go to the neighborhood. And we're just like, "Whoa, what the hell are they here? They're on their phones and stuff." We look back behind us. There's a huge plume of smoke coming out of the fucking truck stop right now. We're just like, "Oh, shit." So as we're walking out of the truck stop, we're just like, oh my God. Oh, who could have done that? Holy like literally, that's what we're saying because we had no idea what to do. We didn't want no one to stop us. We're like, "Oh shit, look at that." So we hurry up and just like speed walk off the fucking scene, and we hurry up and run and cut towards the train tracks. And then we go in the train tracks and we just kept sprinting all the way down towards the Dunkin' Donuts and like came up Gus Ryan towards like the Wendy's near Home Depot and shit. And just got the fuck out of there, man.
So this is a different time because I have a very similar story.
Oh yeah, there's multiple cross joints.
Different time.
Yeah.
This was a cross joint. This is when we had like 10 people down that motherfucker, and Wayne Wolf was down there, and he had his bike, and we set up that ramp for him.
I remember that.
And he hit it, and he like fucking blew it.
Yeah.
Well, we started that fire, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then Wayne Wolf threw that fucking traffic cone into the fire.
Yeah.
And it fucking put smoke so high into the air,
exactly,
dude.
Yeah.
And I remember that fucking copter came right over top of us. I don't think the copter was like called in for us.
Yeah.
I think it was flying around, and then it seen this big smoke.
And
I remember they put the light right on us, bro. We all took off. We're just fucking running full speed. We all fell in that same ditch, yo. That we hit the train tracks too. That's what I was saying. Because we went right to train tracks and just ran.
Yeah. It's traditional
dumb.
lit a fire at the truck stop, man.
But with the paranoid thing,
are we scared of high?
I remember one time with me and Foley, we were out front of that Sudsville about where Kmart's at and shit.
Yeah.
And like a same exact thing, bro. A cop's just coming down opposite way of us about to go across North Point, bro. And we're walking and we're just like, oh shit. Because it's like 1 a.m. though. It does look a little sketchy. You know what I mean? We're like, oh shit. And I'm like, I told Foley, worst move I ever made. Foley had it in his hand. He's like right here next to me. I'm like, drop it, bro. And like, I guess he like threw it. You know what I mean? So after the cop leaves, nothing happens. We go back. We can't find it. We lose the only blunt we had, bro, for this long ass bop. Yo, we're so sick.
Yeah,
and like we're looking all over the grass. I'm like, you're supposed to just drop it. You know what I mean? Like right there.
Exactly. So you can come back and find it.
Oh, yeah.
But he was probably, you're always scared. You never know what to do, man. You never know what to do. He could have broken up and swallowed it real quick. You never know what he was gonna do, man. And that's the thing. Like, it just don't get caught with it. Thank God you didn't get caught with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
bro. Yeah, one time, yo. Long story short, I'll skip the story of how we got booked, bro. But when we got booked, like I had just rolled my blunt. Basically, when the cop was coming, I put my shit in my sock, yo. I remember my left sock all the way at the bottom of my foot. And he got us out. He patted us down and everything. Yo, they ended up booking us. They found grass, blah, blah, blah. Yo, we go all the way back to the station. They're giving you that final pat down before they put you in the cage. And I remember I'm just like, what do I do, yo? Because I had this later, I had my cash on my phone, and I got this blunt in my fucking sock, bro, a fatty, yo. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, do I tell them? Because they're already dicks. Like, they already
Yeah.
locked us up for nothing, like a gram of weed or something like that.
Exactly.
And I'm like, no. Yeah, I was like, I can't tell them, bro. But if they find this, I know that's a different charge, they say, if you bring it
Yeah.
into the police station.
Yeah.
Yo, so, yo, I swear to God, Steve, when I tell you God was with me, dog, there's a God, yo. Literally, he's giving me the final pat down, bro. He done patted everybody else down. And he gets down to like my pockets. He's patting me. And then the phone rings, yo. And I swear to God, he goes and answers the phone, dog. And he tells me to get in there and locks it behind me. I had this blunt in there and I had a lighter, yo. I was like thinking, like, how to spark this bitch.
Yeah.
I'm going away forever. Yo.
Final outing.
That shit was so funny, yo. We were probably in there for like 4 or 5 hours before we got released.
Yeah.
But like we was in there. I remember like we're doing beats on the wall to each other. Like we've been in there for 5 years. You know what I mean? We're like
get back at him.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember the one time we went to Life in Color in Philly. I remember going through the ticket line, and next thing you know, I get pulled out and asked to get pulled to the side and have a dog come near me. Whatever the dog was looking for. I remember it just coming around me and having to do the thing. I remember just sitting there, just being like,
I was so sick for you.
What the fuck, And that's the craziest thing. I remember it happening. I remember just being like, it didn't register until after I was done with it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like I went into like a mode where I just paused my current feeling and just had a blank expression. We're just like, and then as soon as you get done, you're just like,
you lost dry.
Exactly what I'm saying. Because I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I had a bunch of blunts in my shoes, and I had Molly caps under my nuts.
But I didn't know at the time that that's not even what them dogs sniff for. They don't sniff for ecstasy or marijuana.
What are you doing?
They're for bombs.
Yeah.
Well, there's bomb dogs, and then the other ones are heroin, cocaine, maybe ketamine. It's like the hard, the hard shit, bro. If they sniff for weed, everybody would get bit. You would get sniffed. Like,
who would care? They already got your ticket. They got your money.
Nah, they don't want to be known for that. The best raves are the ones that allow the drugs.
Exactly.
Like the big dub and shit like that. They have drug test kits there. They do. You know what I mean?
Well, because they know you're going to do it anyway.
I don't know. Get shit tested.
Just be safe.
They come out with a QP of heroin. Tell me this is official, and then you leave. You just pay big dub admission to get your shit tested. Oh yeah, this is raw. Don't flip up right.
Do the drug deal in front of them. Just, all right, here's your
$22,000. You seen it's fucking straight up pure Clement, bang bang.
It's under the Ferris wheel.
It's raw tar heroin.
Under the Ferris wheel. Come on, bro.
Oh, sorry, I threw that tar hard.
I was like, no, we don't care, but that one was just like, God,
I threw that tar hard, bro. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, you do the deal right there. It's under the Ferris wheel by the funnel cake side. Go to that one. You'll find 22 large.
Right. I like that. Write it out like that.
Dude walks over the hairs.
Do you think that a drug dealer should be charged if they like sell some shit that makes someone OD?
It's a tough one, but I think so. I think yeah.
What about if they didn't cut it with nothing?
It's
like,
a pure
no
shit.
Fentanyl. Somebody like you just got some heroin. You did too much heroin. I sold you it though.
You sold it,
but you just did too much. It wasn't cut with nothing bad. It was heroin.
Oh, that's whatever. Yeah.
So it has to be cut with something. It has to be fentanyl.
Let's say like you do the fentanyl, like you cause overdose, type of deal. Like, I mean, a dude shoots himself up with a bunch of heroin, it's just like
But you're just like, hey, it wasn't supposed to be fentanyl.
But I think fentanyl is like really like toxic, like really potent.
But that's why they come to it.
That's very true, but you gotta balance it out where you don't kill somebody.
Do you want to be a good dealer or not?
Exactly.
Obviously, you can't tell your
Exactly. We gotta put the bad drug dealers away.
So let me ask you this. This is a question I wanted to ask you for a while. Let's say, right, life goes perfect for you, right?
Okay.
You die tomorrow, and life is everything that you wanted. You're dying. You're dying, accomplished everything you wanted with the things that you have, doing what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
What happened and where are you?
What? Oh, okay, that's a good one. Man, I die tomorrow.
But you get what I'm saying? Like you're dying tomorrow because you've accomplished it all. You did everything that you wanted to do in your life. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have all the.
How did I get to that point? How did I envision that?
What is that? You get what I'm saying? What is that basically?
Well, I mean, at that moment, it's like you're happy. I mean, I imagine I'm somewhere off grid, definitely. It's like seclusion, but it's a nice cabin.
I like it.
How I got there is a wild one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, always think about it, but you're never really sure. Like, let's say, we get we this podcast, we keep doing it, it goes great, and it keeps going great, and we're able to do some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where we're getting like millions of views type of style. You know what I'm saying? Imagine something like that. That's always awesome. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
And then
like that.
I guess recently, was like, I'm thinking like, what if I could be like, what if I did do that coding shit and I just made, bank, and I'm just chilling in this with a satellite internet, just like,
I love it.
Like that type of style. But then again, a part of me is also just like, I just somehow dropped everything and, just made money traveling. I mean, all the usual shit, I mean,
right.
I'm never too sure because I'm still not even sure where I'm at.
You got
currently.
kids?
That's always a tough one. It's always a tough one because I'm not too sure. I mean, right now, I guess I can see it without some kids, but I mean, I don't know. Not sure. It's the one I'm not sure about.
You got some pets?
Oh yeah, some dogs. Got a couple dogs.
You got any college degrees?
I don't think so. No.
How many countries you been to?
All of them. No, but I mean, at least my
even that one with that MMA guy who kills the gays and shit.
You've been at least you've been to
Checker-stand?
At least you've been to 25, 50. Hopefully you've been to some of them. Most of them.
It's crazy that you forget about them. Like, there's so many beautiful spots in the world. There's so many spots I think about, and then I forget about Fiji. I forget about spots like that.
I think about them all, man.
Yeah, fuck.
Because I mean, I want to go to Thailand and see those huge golden Buddha statues.
So I can't wait for this vacay, bro. Because it's I can't wait for us all just to get out there in nature some, and just interact some,
That's what I'm saying. I think I'm gonna go one of those days, or I'm not sure when. I'm just gonna put my biggest mileage up on that fucking bike and just fucking my biggest.
You got pegs?
My biggest running mileage up too, man. My biggest running mileage, bro. I'm just running a fucking half marathon out there.
Big numbers.
I mean, I just want to run. I mean, I always talk about wanting to run through the forest.
I look at it as a time to also do other workouts, though. A lot of things that I was embracing when I went up there was water workouts, bro. Because I love doing workouts in water, man. I really do.
It's very good. Full
I
body.
went to a random I mean, my sister knows the people, but I know them kind of, we're not close. I went there and I'm in their pool. I'm the only person in their pool. I'm working my punches and shit, trying to go back and forth. I hold my breath,
it's awesome,
working my breath and shit. I do doing that type of shit.
Swimming's really good for you, man.
Different kind of workout.
Great cardio.
Yes, it is.
Plus, when it comes to water, it's very light on your joints.
Yes.
It's very light on the ligaments and
joints.
What's the
injury percentage in water?
Exactly.
It's low. 5%.
But what's the workout potential and the workout maximum?
Exactly.
Very high.
Exactly.
Very
and
high.
I love it how it's a lung workout. That's my favorite part.
I like testing my lungs
because you don't do that very often. You don't hold your breath very often.
Yeah.
When do you ever hold your breath for 30 seconds? Never, unless you're in a pool.
Yeah.
It's the only time.
As I said, I want to get my swimming up too. I want to be able to swim 2 miles. No problem.
Yeah.
I want to be able to put 2-3 miles up. I want to do distance swimming next.
It's so scary to me because what do you swim 2 miles in though?
Exactly. Especially around here.
You think I'm gonna swim across the fucking harbor?
Yeah, as I say, you don't want to go to what do you want to go to North Point and go swimming 2 miles there? It's no, you don't want to do that. So you need a pool. You need to do hella laps.
You need that wave pool.
But I feel like pools are also that's why I wish you could live. That's why I want to live somewhere like Deep Creek or something. And you just go out and swim in that lake. When you can.
Yeah, but that lake's still. I'm in and I'm out.
Yeah.
People hop in and they swim in it and everything, but for me, I told you my problem, bro. I just can't get it out my mind.
You will probably, tubing, bro, is very.
Bro.
Look.
Yo, if I go out there, I'm telling everybody right now, bro, you got to be driving or something, Steve, and you got to come right back for me, dog.
Bro, listen. Let me tell you real quick, man. So I did the tubing stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember, the whole thing is, it's with the boat and the driver, I can pull you off at any time. I just got to do one sharp turn, where I hit that, hit the brake, you come back on it real quick, do a sharp turn, fling you off, you go sliding around, you go flying, skidding across the water real quick off the top, and then it's all fun. You got your ride in, you got thrown off. Now, for a boat to come back around, and it's like for a while you're looking at a boat leave you in the middle of the lake. You're looking side to side. I mean, like you imagine in the middle of the deep creek, you're like, maybe half mile, maybe. I'm not sure how big it is. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I'm not sure how big it is, but it's wide. You're like, oh, that's far. That's far. And then you're looking down a long ways at a lake. You're like, that's really far. I'm back that way. I'm looking at the dam at the end, at the other end type of deal. And I'm just like, the water's all brown. You can't see nothing. I don't even know how deep it is. I'm just floating at the top of it, and this boat looks like it's leaving me. I'm just like, holy fucking shit. I don't like this. That's scary, man.
So petrified.
It's very scary, man. Yeah. That's why I do it with a life jacket.
Dude, I do not like that. I want to go tubing. I will do it, but I do not like that, bro.
That's why I do it with a life jacket. You know what I'm saying?
I'll swim back towards the boat. I don't even like getting on the boat, bro. I hate touching. I told you I don't even like touching it. My problem is when I'm in there, the more I go towards the middle, the more it affects me because I told you I see it as like I'm just there. I don't see the water. Like I'm just picturing how
you're over a black hole.
Yeah, I'm just over the canal of whatever this gap in Earth is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever the filling of this, I don't see the water. I feel the mass of it, dude. And like, I can feel that, like, oh my God, like this thing is so, dude. Oh my God, this is so deep and so much. And like, you're like, for me, like when I go in a pool with goggles on, I get scared, like a deep pool, because it's like the mass of it. I feel the mass of the water and like, if I was like in that deep creek, right, and I went down like 10 feet, bro, and I touched like the side of a rock, dude, I'll flip out.
I remember you telling me Foley kept trying to dive down and try to get to the bottom.
Yeah, at Beaver Dam. Bro.
I don't do that,
he dived down and did like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to go down there. Then he came up and said, didn't touch.
And you know what? The thing is, touching something and not touching something freaks me out equally. Because then you get down there, you keep swimming, you're just like, I haven't touched nothing yet.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But then you're like, don't touch me.
Exactly, but I don't want to touch it.
That's why I thought that park with the waterfall was cool. Because like, it's rocks at the bottom, which is
not deep. Yeah,
it's hard. It's about 4 feet deep, but there's rocks at the bottom, like big rocks.
And it's clear water.
You don't see the rocks. You don't see the rocks.
The waterfall, do you?
It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep, bro. It's deep enough to hide the rocks.
It depends what time you go.
But you can maybe, yeah. But this was a good day, I guess. Then, but you couldn't see the rocks. But like they're right there. You know what I mean? To me, it felt safer than when I'm walking on like flat ground because I don't know what's coming. If I know it's all rocks, then I'm like, okay, I'm going 1 rock, 2 rock. I'll doggy paddle, feel a rock. Like I'm okay with that.
I can acid and go into that waterfall.
Dude, that's what I was saying.
That's all I'm saying, man.
That's what I was saying, bro.
I'm talking like 3 tabs under that fucking
crazy.
Man. Exactly, bro. No, nothing. I'm not doing anything less than 2.
I have to get more.
I'm saying, exactly, man. But 2 is tough, man. 2 is heavy.
Yeah,
2 is heavy, man.
Yeah.
You know? I wouldn't mind doing a little half and half. We do like tab of acid, 1/8 of shrooms.
You gotta be careful there. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, there's bears.
I'm just thinking about the rocks. Like if I go out there, like bro, I hit my hip on one, cause like bro, I get in and out of that water. Like I said, I'm in and I'm out, bro, and I just committed and I fucking caught my hip once. That shit hurts, bro. That shit hurts, man.
Solid.
Yeah,
those things are solid, man.
And it's funny because like I look at myself like a grown man. I like to think I can face a lot of challenges, and that is personally one. And it's not a fake challenge. Like I got out there, like when they were all jumping in, like. A kid got in, Chaz's niece got in. She's like 9 years old. Cabby's in, Heather Cabbage is in, and Courtney's in, and they're all jumping in. And it's like, I want to get in there and swim. And it's not a fake thing. Like legit, it's like something is telling me, like, it's not in my head. I know it's not a big deal. Like, I know it's not a big deal. And I know I'm going to do it. Right. But it's just the fact of like, I do got to just think about it for a second. And the more information I can get, the better. So I like I said, like if I go swimming in the ocean, like when I go swimming at the beach, I like to try and find a spot where people are surrounding me, so things can hit them first before it hits me. So I like to try and do the same thing. But I'm like, when I was a kid, I cared less, but I still cared, but I'm looking at like this child that doesn't care at all. Right. Then we go to the waterfall and like, I go out there and I'm at the waterfall and then like they see that they can go behind the waterfall, but you got to go underneath, into that deep water, that you can't see with the rocks and swim and you don't know what's in this water. And I'm just looking, and I'm like, I do it. So I do it, right? And I get over there because that was easier than the way back. They got out and like they jumped from out there and they're swimming back, and I'm just like, why can I don't mean it like this, but I'm like, why can these two women do this thing? And I'm such a bitch about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to belittle like the woman, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like,
Like,
wow,
you know how they feel. They might feel
no
the same
problem.
way. Just be like, I get the fuck out of
Dude,
here.
They don't feel how I feel. No, like Courtney's underneath of the waterfall. She's in the middle of the thing like this, smiling, and Shane Cabby swimming back and forth. Dude, they stayed in the water. For me, it's like, like, dude, if like a catfish touched my leg or something, bro, I'm out of there. Like,
Hell yeah,
I'll
man.
kill a catfish. Yes, it's just, it's you know what I say? You worry about your past life. That's what probably I think. Like maybe if there is a past life, I probably drowned. What do you think? If there's a past life, what do you think happened to you?
What I think happened to me,
You died of natural causes.
Either that or like I jumped off a building.
Suicide?
Because I mean, like I love it because it freaks me out. But like, you're on top of something, and you just look over, and you're just like, oh, it's fucking high. You know, heights do get me. You know, so I look down, and I get on the edge of them. I feel uneasy. It's like, you know, like I can just so easily fall. I could literally be on a wall right here and just be looking over and just be like, I just get the feeling like I'm gonna fucking fall. And I just can't look at it too long, you know. But I love doing it because I'm just like, whoa,
right?
Like, you know what he used to always
get your
do?
Heart rate rising.
When I used to do a lot of deliveries on foot. I remember I would go up on elevators and in between the cracks, when I would go to high floors, like, you know, floor 20, I will look down and try and see the lowest shaft, like, because normally there's a light down there. And you can usually see how high it is.
So when you walked onto the elevator, you would try and look between?
I would have one leg in, one leg out, and I would look between, and I would look at the light all the way down to the bottom and just being like, you're 20 floors up. I'm just like, in that elevator, it's just a fucking, you know, like, I'm just like, this is a thick-ass floor. But I'm just like, yeah, like separating me and fucking death, you know? It's so fucking scary, man.
Dude, and when you see, like, how you ever been on, like, seen the top of an elevator? Have you ever seen, like, how it's hooked up?
Yeah.
Bro, I had to do some crazy shit downtown, bro, where we literally, like, they brought the elevator, there was nothing else. The elevator wasn't big enough, right? So they had to bring the elevator to the door level. They opened up the door. We put the glass on top of the elevator, dude. And we rode the elevator up with like this glass on top of the elevator up like 8 floors, bro. This shit was insane. Yeah. You're just like, what the fuck? You see this thing really working? You're like, why do we trust this? Bro. Why do we trust this to go 20 floors, dude?
So
that's insane.
I went in an elevator in a historic building in Mount Vernon. And it was the first hydraulic elevator in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? This was the one. It was a lift, so like it would lift it from the bottom, and it was on a lift, like a hydraulic piston. It would push it up and down. But it was changed into a pulley elevator, like most elevators today. But you're in it. You know, it's like you get in, and because of historic buildings, you can't mess with them too much. You get in, you pull the gate and shit, and you like latch it. And, you know, it's like it's just open and stuff. There's like a door in front of you that you open and close, like with like a regular doorknob. And you just close this gate and you're going up in this fucking little, like, it's literally like 2x2 or like 3x3, you know, with like boxes and shit. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Bro,
this.
Trust me, I fucking know what you're talking about. 2 types of elevators, bro. The scariest ones you're fucking seeing in your life. One, on a lesser cause, is downtown on the cranes, bro. You go and do the crane show. You climb up a ladder that's about 20 feet. When you get up there, you got to take a fucking basically a single, but you fit 2 in there. A fucking like 30 feet up, yo. And this single thing that's like condensed like this, yo, right against the railing of this crane, you're like going over water, yo. It's like so fucking weird. But worse than that, yo, is one I did downtown, yo, when they put the scaffold up all the way around the buildings.
Yeah.
Those bitches will be like 13, 15 floors up. Yeah. They got an elevator on the end, bro. Yeah. And it's the same way. You just hear that bitch like.
I remember
it's like, what the fuck am I doing?
I remember on one Pratt Street where they had the Under Armour gym downtown. Where it's apartment buildings. I remember when I started working downtown, it was covered in scaffolding all around, and they had the elevator on the outside. And man, that thing looks so fucking sketchy, man. It's not even a pulley elevator. It's like an elevator that's attached to like this railing on the side. It's like a sideways roller coaster with like a cart that carries people on it. I'm just like, what? But in the actual,
but then it gets scarier than that. A swinging stage, bro.
Yeah, on the side of the building.
Dog, you want to talk about fear,
Bro, the
bro?
people who rappel down on the side of the buildings, like on a regular swing.
Have you ever seen the video though when the swinging stages lose control?
Yeah.
And they're just swinging in midair, bro. I think about that every time I go up on one. And there's a lot that goes into that people don't know. Like you do have to be in sync with the other person because it's two engines that you control. You hook up from the top, like you're lined off to that. So you have to have your thing running. You have to be holding your line basically so it slides as you go, and you got to operate the engine at the same time, or you could easily go unlevel.
Yeah.
Now granted, for us, the best thing is we go up there with suction cups, so we're bringing a hell of suction cups and rope, and just tied to the wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just keep pumping them cups, so we stay tight to that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So we would never get blown away like that. You know what I mean? Like we'd be having like 8-10 cups on that bitch.
That's a good idea.
Tight as fuck. Yeah. I swear, bro. It's like that's your life. You're tied.
That's a good idea, man.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
a good idea.
But you gotta tie that motherfucker correctly, bro, because you gotta think if that bitch does come loose, you're going swinging, dog, and you're coming right back into that bitch, dog, because you pulled the tension to the wall. You know what I mean? So you're on an angle now. So like you gotta keep an eye on them fucking cups, bro, and that rope, because you gotta be tight.
I imagine the next thing after that would be 2 or 3 cups. You tie yourself to that, and in case that bitch drops, you just hold yourself on with those cups.
Well, you're tied off from the top. So you're good no matter what, because you got a harness on, right? And then that's connected to a sliding wedge thing, right?
Top, yeah.
And that's tied off to the top, not to the swinging stage.
Yeah.
So if something does happen to the swinging stage, you can let that go and you'll be hanging from the top wire that's secured at the top of the building. That's a company that comes in there, and there's on those big buildings, they always have tie-offs, which is like these huge metal posts that they put on top of buildings.
Yeah.
And the company ties off to that, then they sledge that to the corner of the building, so it's like all tension right there with some big ass wires and hang that off. So you're on there no matter what.
And you're good.
You know what I mean?
You're good.
You're not going to go flying off.
I feel you. I got you.
But you are attached to the swinging stage. So unless you're going to find a way to leave that swinging stage, like you still are going to go wherever that goes, but you are going to stay on there. But you seen how hard they slam? Like there's one people in New York when they were slamming.
It seems like I'd rather just get off that bitch.
Yeah, bro, if you can. But then you're like, well, what if I slam and I'm off of it? Like I'm just hanging and it slams me. Like fuck. The worst part is when you're up there, you got these fucking cups pumped up. You got all this rope going, and you're dealing with a broken piece of glass, like 13 floors up, bro. And you're like, if a piece goes flying, dog, someone could die,
Yeah,
like this piece is gonna hang forever. Once it catches air, it's just like. We've had times where like
build momentum,
a piece goes flying, and and you're just watching it go down like, oh my God, bro. Like, because you shut it down below you, but that's not where the glass goes.
The wind goes wherever.
Glass go wherever it wants. Yeah, when the wind takes it. And you're just like, oh my God. But I mean, how else are you gonna do it, bro? And then
the system you built,
it's crazy though. They do the dumbest shit, bro. Like they don't plan for it though, and that's what makes things so difficult. Like
what do you mean?
Like on those big towers downtown, right? They want to be safe down there, so they wet seal it, which is they're caulking the outside of these windows. But if a window breaks, then it has to be cut from the outside, or else you're gonna have to cut this entire piece out from the inside, just making it more difficult. The problem with architectures, I guess that's not the right word, but let's not run over that too much, is that they're not thinking about when something needs to be fixed or replaced. They're just there to give you a beautiful finished product. And from there, it's not their problem anymore. People don't think about how am I going to replace this carpet if it gets stained? Is it going to be easy? Is it going to is it going to be easy to replace that window or that air conditioner unit? You want to make it simple to slide parts in and out. Less labor, less parts, less time, better for everybody. I think we all can agree on that. I guess when you're trying to make your $100,000, though, that's the thing. I heard a thing. What was it? I forget who said it the other day. Josh Thompson said we're all stepping on each other's dicks. It's like architecture doesn't care if you have to replace something in there because his job is to just make it look good the first time. He doesn't give a fuck.
I love the Discovery Channel show. It's like architectural failures.
It just fucks you.
Architectural failures, man.
What about like the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Yeah, foundation sunk.
But it keeps holding. It keeps fucking holding, bro.
Exactly. Like they built a building in London, and for some reason around it, the way it's shaped, it causes these really harsh wind tunnels along the north side because of how it cuts the wind. And like literally, like it's just like a huge wind hazard where like it'll blow people down and shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. There was another one that they built in the UK. the way it was shaped and all the glass they used there, I realized it reflected around to another building. And it was like that room where the sun would go at a certain time of day, it would be like 120 or 130 degrees in that bitch or some shit. And so it's crazy. So
well, that's one of the ones. It is what it is.
They had to install specific glass in that area, to absorb it.
Try and hold it.
Yeah, exactly. Not to be so reflective. So I mean, people just build the shit and don't worry. That's for the next engineer.
That's the worst part. Is like I remember Miss Grant teaching us when I was as a kid, but she was saying there's 3 types of building. It's a certain type is when they just completely renew the area. They don't leave any animal wildlife. Then there's a type where they leave the animal wildlife. They decide not to build there. And then the third one is when they try to leave animal wildlife and still build something there, which is like what happened with Dundalk Walmart. If you think about right on the side of Dundalk Walmart, that's a swamp right there. It's basically because all of that was animal wildlife. Even that highway right there, all of that was like a swampy, marshy type of area. They eliminated all of that, built that fucking Pulaski or North Point Boulevard, built the fucking Walmart, built that entire shopping center, and they leave that little ass patch for the animals.
Same thing with Patapsco Avenue. When you get on that side, you cross over the Patapsco River. I mean, you get to a point where you got houses on each side. You know what I'm saying? Where you just build up to that water area.
Did you see that crazy
build
picture?
A highway through it,
with Latrobe Homes.
What do you mean?
There's it's a picture being circulated where it shows you the back of Latrobe Home in the corner.
Oh yeah,
you literally can see the prison right there, bro. That's insane.
Yeah,
that is absolutely insane. Yep. I never knew that they could literally see that motherfucker like that.
Yeah,
they're the block right there,
it's
bro.
Right there, man. Right there.
Why would that ever be that close to any any people like that? I knew there was. I didn't know there was a down there. I knew there was jails, but I didn't know there was a prison.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy. Why do we have a prison in the middle of the city?
Doesn't
that seem weird?
It is weird, but I mean, it makes sense as far as how they built things back then. There was never this many people.
You don't want to go that far.
And then, exactly. But then because you look at the prison, the building itself, one of the main buildings is very old. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a historical place for that area. And then what they did from there, they put black people exactly where they wanted them. Living in those projects or outside that prison, you know what I'm saying?
It's weird when somebody built imagine being the architecture for a prison. It's you're trying to build something beautifully shit. You're just you're trying to it's you got this beautiful finished product, all this fresh paint and everything, but it's meant for misery. You know what I mean?
Contained.
Yeah, exactly. Got this fucking jail cell. You're putting these
multiple
metal
fences.
Toilets. It's there ain't many choices. Metal toilets.
A toilet that doubles as a sink.
Metal bars. Exactly.
A double toilet.
So my only option. This is not a fun game of Sims.
You got 2 people, 3 people in there sometimes. There's some crazy.
It's crazy when they take over the gyms, when they're so overpopulated. That's when shit gets dangerous.
You've seen some crazy huge yards, bro.
When they're just bunk bed in the middle of the gyms, though, that's dangerous, bro.
Yeah,
that's when you can do anything at night, bro.
There'll just be a huge corridor.
People are getting raped left and right for sure.
People, bro.
Getting beat and raped.
Yeah, military style. Just
extorted, soaps,
rape, all of it, bro.
First day in, we're doing a 10-year bid. You think me and you just got to go fuck somebody up right away? Try and clear it up. We're just if I came to you, I'm just if I come to you. Say we're in fucking, Jessup. Me and you. I'm like, bro, I think we should just rock that bitch. I didn't want to say the area brotherhood leader I was going to, because that's a little bit too much, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say that motherfucker was running his mouth in the cell. I think we need to rock that.
Yeah.
Do you do it?
Yeah. I got your back, bro.
Kay's been watching that thing. No, I got your back. Kay's been watching that 60 Days In. And it's pretty fake, but there is some parts you could tell they're trying to be real and you do geek. But so one girl that's on the show, she starts getting bitched by somebody that's not on the show, a real life criminal, you know? And another girl, a white girl that's on the show, she steps up for her. She's like, leave her alone. That ain't your stuff, blah, blah, blah. Well, all the attention just gets towards the white girl. It gets turned towards the white girl. And they're all just we're going to fuck you up and beat your fucking ass. And the original girl who was having the problems, she's just I'm going to distance myself as far away as I can. She should have never involved herself. And that shit just had me geeking, bro. It's so fucked up, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine if I go in, I crack them, and you just don't follow up? You know what I mean? You're just
crack you for sticking up with me.
You get out of there. You're just I had no idea he was even playing that shit, or I would have told you, boys. Yeah, and you dab up Aryans or something. You know what I mean? You just completely sell out.
Oh man,
it gotta suck, right?
Oh hell yeah, bro! It's just like I would just be happy to have someone in there I know or be cool with, and just have somebody.
How would you feel, right? Let's just say, right? Let's say you're in jail, right?
Somebody.
You're doing an 8-year bid, right? And you got a cellmate. He's freshly in, right? He just came into your cell. Couple white guys come to you, 4 or 5 guys. They're like, hey, we're gonna give you $50, 50 commissary or something, Need you to get out of your cell for 45 minutes, during this time. What do you do?
Might have to get out of there.
Make it a box of Twinkies.
I want noodles,
shrimp. And you just find, I can't get shrimp. I got chicken.
I got sunflower seeds. Smokes.
Sunflower seeds.
I like sunflower seeds, bro. I like sunflower seeds.
Pistachios. Almonds and pistachios only. I need a high protein diet. I'm vegan. I'm vegan.
Brand name. I got oat milk. Got oat milk in here.
Yeah, I want oatmeal mixed variety.
Peaches and cream. Peaches and cream.
I'm tired of that fucking brown sugar shit.
You know the price. You know the price you're asking.
Do you want to fuck him or not?
All right, fine. Peaches and cream.
And the whole time, all of this is happening at the front of your cell. And the guy's just like,
the guy's right there. The guy's right there. The guy's right there. That's a skit. That's a skit,
dude. They walk away. You just look around. You're just like,
hey, man, I'm gonna get out of here.
Looks like you're getting fucked.
I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm sure you heard that. You're
just like, oh,
I'm sure you heard that.
You catch all that right there?
How much did you hear? All of it. Well, looks like you're getting fucked. It's like,
can you fight?
You're just like, what is it? You're like, all of it. Okay. So you heard what they offered? Can you offer any more? How much commissary you
know? Nothing personal, kid.
Hop up on your bunk.
Top bunk. You're on the bottom. It's like first day. You're on the bottom bunk. You're a bottom bunk kid.
God.
But he even gets settled in. You're just like bottom bunk. I'll give you 2 packs noodles.
I gotta tell you, you're not gonna enjoy this, kid.
He said the Tabasco Slim Jims, the Tabasco ones,
Tabasco pickle sausage,
ranch Doritos.
God gets them. And on that show, always smoking weed in there. And it's funny because like the one guy like smoked. If you do something illegal in there, you can still be charged apparently.
Oh yeah.
So he smokes weed with the guy though, because like he's scared to say no. And they just end up getting high together in this cell. And the guy's just funny. It's just funny because, like I said, now you can tell not all of it's fake. The guy's obviously in jail. Yeah, he really is a criminal in jail.
Yeah, there was one I remember. Like I was watching one. It was like a 6 Days In clip. It was this guy. I remember he's there, and they're talking. It's like an interview. He's just like, "So Brian today, Brian was supposed to give Mike his tater tots to pay back a bet, and he didn't give him his tater tots today." It's quiet on the floor. It's like they go talk about it. It's like, oh, they're going to the back cell. The back cell is where you go solve your problems. They're back to the back.
They voted and shit.
Exactly.
They're like all in favor.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it was that deep.
Was it that one? Well, there was one I seen that was like that. I thought that's the one you're talking about.
Like this
I'm pretty sure, bro.
This one I was like, since he didn't pay his debt, he's got to pay it another way. And dude tells him meet him in the back cell and stuff. They go in the back cell and he's like, he's going to the back cell and just take his chances. And the dude gets fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen a similar one like that, but like before they went back there, they went into a cell and they had like a court. It was so corny, dude. It was like court in session, and like each of them said their side, and they're just like, he's like, I vote, that he gets beat for 2 minutes by everyone. all in favor? And it was like, oh, it was so corny, dude. And then they beat this guy up. Like they really did beat his ass too. He came out bruised up.
Objection.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how so? I'm like, so like he really did come out of that cage with real bruises. Like unless they did some crazy makeup.
He was swollen.
His shit was all bruised up right here.
Yeah,
like you could see purple and yellow and shit.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, what's the camera just films that? Like they don't notify the CO? Is the CO allowed this? Is this good ratings?
Exactly. I'm just like, so I guess that has to be kind of fake. Maybe they faked the fight, and because they don't really show the fight. Like when I saw, they didn't show the fighting. They just saw them going in, breaking it up, and coming out. You know. So I don't know, man.
Here's one thing I was thinking about, Steve. Right? Here's what I want to know.
Okay.
I hope you got an answer, right? So places like, let's say, like I forget who it was, but let's say like CNN was the first one to obtain George Floyd's video, right, of his death, right? Let's just say it was that, right? They have a YouTube page, right?
Yeah.
So then they post George Floyd's murder on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Does YouTube pay them per views?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. That's a tough one. Wow, that's a good question, man. That's definitely a good question. I have no idea.
Because I'm sure George Floyd murders fucking video, no matter which one was up, got fucking viewed 1 million times. I guarantee you made profit off of it if you uploaded it.
If not YouTube, I mean, someone made money on it.
Someone made money off of that video.
I imagine they do get the money on it, man. Huh?
Crazy, ain't it?
So now they're profiting off
of the murder video, bro.
Bro,
yeah, bro. That's exactly. That's what I was thinking, yo.
You think of that?
Yeah, bro. I was like, I was thinking about this earlier, dog, another time, but it was hitting me where I'm like, how the fuck? Because CNN does have a YouTube page, you know, and it's like if they're breaking news, well, they're getting money for the views,
the money
for the likes, the views, the comments. You get money for
I gotta get to the bottom of that one and see where that goes.
Yeah, bro. It's very weird.
That's blood money.
That's what I'm thinking. One way or another, I'm sure they're making money. Maybe they can't gain monetary. I don't know.
I mean, you think about the same thing with World Star, man. You know, you see a couple murder videos on World Star. Just like, do they make money off that?
World Star is like a site though where you're like, I can see some shit like that happening. But YouTube is like such a big, they try and say they're so family friendly.
It leads us to regardless, it leads us to the bigger question of a site profiting off shit like that. You know, it's like, because that's interesting. That's wild.
Even if a Facebook page shared it, you know what I mean?
Because I saw a crazy one the other day of this dude. His whole body was on fire, and you saw his skin and like you saw it down to like his bone pretty much. It's just like, what the fuck? Crazy shit on that website, and they're making money off some of that shit.
Crazy. It's just insane, you know?
That's
one we'll have to get to the bottom of. Great cast, baby.
Okay, no, that's one for next time, man.
Wait for us to bounce back there. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out. We're going to figure out if YouTube's making money off of it or whoever is putting those videos up who's making that money.
Exactly. Where that money's going.
Because then at that point, these murder videos are profitable.
Especially those news sites, Fox News, CNN, all of them are profiting off that shit.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday. We'll be on here. Appreciate everybody for keep checking us out. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.